Colorfix is a hair color remover you can get at Sally's. It's designed to remove unwanted permanent hair color without using bleach. Inside the box, you'll get 3 parts. Number 1 is the color reducer, 2 is the conditioning catalyst, and 3 is the processing lotion. You'll also need to grab gloves, a plastic shower cap or some sort of bag, a hair color application bottle, or you can use a bowl and a brush, which is what we're gonna use today. To mix this up, it's equal parts of part 1 and part 2. If you have a lot of hair and you use the whole bottle, it's the whole bottle of 1, the whole bottle of number 2. We're gonna use this beaker to measure today. And we're just doing a little strip of my hair, so I'm going to do a 1/2 ounce of number 1 to a 1/2 ounce of number 2. If you're not using the whole bottle, you just wanna make sure that you are measuring it with something. You could use a tablespoon to a tablespoon, or even use a scale. You just do not want to eyeball this or guess. This does smell terrible. I would say worse than a perm. Also doesn't help that we're in a small space, but think of 1,000 rotten eggs in a tiny, hot, dark closet. That's this. Last night, I colored a strip of my hair with this permanent hair color, also from Sally's. This is 5N, which is actually a really nice hair color. So this is what we're gonna be removing today. Now, this product is for all hair types and all textures, but not everyone is going to get the same result. What this is going to do is pull through the layers of hair color that's on your hair. So if you're a little unsure or if you have damaged hair, I would suggest doing a strand test right behind the ear, taking about this much hair and doing this application first, just to see what results you're gonna get before you go in and do the whole head. I'm gonna put mine in hair paper because we're just doing this little strip. But if you're doing the whole head, there really is no method to the madness. You just wanna make sure you're either starting in the back or you're starting in the front 2 quads. You can apply it root to end. It does burn the scalp a little bit. I would also recommend, if you have a lot of compacted color on your hair, to start where the hair color is most concentrated. So for example, if you color your hair a level 1 often and it's black on black on black on black on black, the ends, because they're the oldest piece of hair, have the most compacted hair color. So start here, do all the ends of your hair, and then work your way up. You do want to wear gloves and make sure that your hair is clean and dry. And quickly just apply this, running it through the ends. It is a pretty thin consistency, but you do want to take smaller subsections to make sure everything's getting coated. Work it through your hands a little bit, and I would not use a comb on this. Then I'm just gonna tuck mine away in this hair paper. The processing time for this is up to 20 minutes, but you are using your eyeballs like you would a lightener. It's only been about 1 minute, so it looks the same. And then you want to cover it with a plastic cap. This looks like one of those little French hats, artiste. And you want to stay in a room that's fairly warm. You can apply heat to this. Heat will speed up the process, but you want to make sure it's an even application of heat. Obviously, a hood dryer is best, but if all you have is a blow dryer, make sure you're constantly moving the blow dryer so you don't get splotchy results. But you definitely don't want to go outside or go somewhere cold. It's going to slow this down a lot. I'm just gonna check mine every 5 minutes. If you have black, dark, level 1 hair color, you're probably gonna need the full 20 minutes, but you don't wanna extend past that 20-minute mark. So while we wait for this to process, I'm gonna explain how this works or why. The timestamps are below if you just wanna skip this part. So Colorfix and products similar to this work by breaking down the color molecules into very tiny little pieces so they can just be rinsed out of the hair. So pretend this is perfectly clean, and then pretend this is a giant picture of your hair shaft. This is one single strand of hair. When you color your hair with permanent hair color, the color molecules, whoop, blast inside the hair with the help from the developer. It opens up the hair cuticle and allows it to slip in, and then changes the appearance. So you have all these molecules floating around your hair. When you go in with the color remover, it breaks up these little guys into tiny, tiny pieces. Think of chocolate chips on the chocolate chip cookie. That way, these are so tiny, they can blast right back out and then go down the drain when you shampoo it. In theory, it's not that simple. Sometimes this takes 2 or 3 times for this to work completely. Now, when you're comparing it to bleach, again, here's your blown up piece of hair. Here's our color molecules. When I throw bleach on the hair or a shampoo cap, lightener, whatever, to change the appearance of the color, I want to lighten it up. It just changes the appearance of the molecule. So it's not necessarily blasting this thing out. So when you use a color remover and you're successful at it, and again, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times, once all this is stripped away, you're left with what you had. So that's very different from using bleach, because as you know, if you put bleach on your hair, it changes everything. It'll change the artificial hair color. It's going to change your virgin hair color, your roots. If I put hair color remover on my roots here, nothing is going to happen because there's nothing to remove. If I put bleach or lightener on my roots, it's going to lighten my roots. So hair color removers are typically a little bit safer for the hair, and most of them will not lighten your natural hair. Now, there are some limitations that come with using color removers. For example, this particular one is not going to work on direct dyes. That's going to be your semi-permanent hair colors or your vibrant hair colors, the pinks, the purples, the blues. You're going to want to use a totally different product. This Colorfix brand, or One and Only, makes one for direct dyes. And also, if you have a lot of hair color compacted, once again, you may have to use this a couple times. Now, you can use this product up to 3 times in one day. I would not suggest that. Like most things in life, time is the answer. Do this one time, wait a couple days, do it again. Wait a couple days, do it again. They claim it's not going to damage your hair, but you're putting chemicals on your hair that are blasting out the color molecules, so of course it's going to damage your hair. Just like anytime you put a curling iron to your hair. It will damage your hair slowly until that compacts, little things make big things, and it breaks. So just be careful. Once your 20 minutes is up, or you're happy with the level that your hair is, it may only take 5-10 minutes, you just have to visually look, because again, everybody's hair is different. This was the full 20 minutes. You rinse your hair for 3 to 5 minutes, just water, and then you're gonna go through and shampoo this twice. Shampoo, rinse, shampoo, rinse. Towel dry it, visually look at it. If you see it's still too dark or there's too much hair color, you can repeat this process on damp hair. If your ends are super fried, looking like this, just wait. We're ready for step 3. This is gonna go on after you're done with all the applications of step 1 and step 2. So if you've done this multiple times, you're gonna save step 3 till the end. You do want to wear gloves. And I'm gonna put this bleach towel here because step 3 does contain hydrogen peroxide, so it could stain your clothes. This stays on for 5 minutes. Sometimes, and this hasn't happened to me before, but sometimes step 3 will actually darken your hair color and almost look like nothing happened. Steps 1 and 2 never existed. If that happens, it recommends to let step 3 process for 5 minutes and then do step 1 and 2 again. But step 3 is necessary. It locks in everything that you've done. And once the 5 minutes is up, you're just going to rinse this with warm water and then blow dry it on a warm setting. Here it is after it's dry. So you can see it did not break up all the color that was underneath. So that's why there's that orange tone, which is to be expected. Very easy to correct this. Just throw a darker toner on it. I'm just gonna leave it. I like to wait to tone my hair. But at this point, this is where you could put color, toner, whatever you're trying to do on to your hair. Because the results are honestly pretty unpredictable, it is best to wait to purchase that hair color until after you see what it's going to do. I wouldn't suggest going to Sally's, getting this, and then picking out a toner. It's impossible to pick out a toner until you really know what's gonna happen. So for me, because it's orange, it needs a blue ash toner.